Just a quick critique on the new Dayton Epique drivers. It's not a great driver. It has a very low BL product. It's only 9 Tesla meters, which is just shit. And it's exaggerated by XBL. Both XBL and LMS. They don't specifically name LMS in this video, but that's the other woofer that they're talking about that has a variable wind coil. So both of them compromise BL product, total product, for linearity. So to me, it's not worth it, and it shows up in the sensitivity. So the sensitivity shows up as like only 83, and so even with a pair of those in series parallel or whatever, you still end up with 86 dB at 1 watt. Now they are rated for 200 watts, which is great, but you don't want to sit there and have to run them at 200 watts. It's easier just to pick another driver that is more sensitive in the first place. Again, back to one of my favorites, especially for a smaller driver, is some from Dynavox, which I've been studying, by the way. Great website, dynavox.com. A lot of great drivers on there, very affordable. Most of them are out of stock right now, but I just wanted to point that out to you guys. This product from Dayton really kind of just starts showing the hubris that Parts Express in general and that they're doing with the Dayton Audio brand is getting more and more lucrative, and they're getting greedy. So because people, this video's already got 6,500 views, and he's got 50,000 subscribers almost. So I mean, good for them, but Chris, in his description, and this is by Colby Doby out of New Mexico that brought this to my attention. In the description, I think it's about 3 minutes and 20 seconds in, Chris is describing what the split gap is supposed to be doing, and that is true for true XBL, right? And I don't know if I didn't see. Let's see. And see, this is, by the way, this is imported by CSS, which is the Canadian importer for a lot of Dan Wiggins' designs. Dan Wiggins was the original creative engineer and creator of Adair Audio and inventor of XBL squared, which is a patented technology using split gap and an underhung coil. Now, in the video, Chris talks about that there are some underhung designs, right? So that I think he's suggesting that this is an overhung design. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but then it's not XBL, which is probably one of the reasons, 2 reasons. Number one, that it's not called XBL, because typically when it says XBL squared, that's a licensed feature, right? Because you're licensing from Dan, and typically it's only like $1 per unit. That was 10 years ago. It could be more now. I don't know. So, but this driver does not use XBL. Does it use a split gap? Yes, but it sounds like it uses an overhung design, which if you go back to my videos, let me see if I can go back to my videos. The original, the original video that most popular. The Adair Brahma 12-inch Excursion woofer. This is not my video. So I posted this back in 06 May of 2007, when I was still talking with Dan and associating with him and all that kind of stuff. It's not that I don't associate with him anymore. It's just that he's busy, I'm busy. We don't need to touch dicks anymore. So, but this is Mr. Kephardt's, Stephen Kephardt, who publicly criticizes me for using an overhung coil, and then even discredits me for using an overhung coil in an XBL gap, which does exactly what Chris P is talking about in the video, which is that it creates quite excursion, very large excursion. Now, whether or not that's linear is, whatever. And that's why I would love to see somebody else do a, what is it called? Clipple on this driver. So, but again, one of the disappointing features that you're gonna find is that it has insanely low sensitivity. It is not loud at all. And that is two reasons. Number one, the magnet is not strong, or I should say the gap or assembly is not strong. The other thing is that it's very small. It's only a 5-inch driver. But typically you should get about 90 dB of sensitivity, especially because this is a mid. This is not a woofer. Can you play it down to 40 Hertz? Yes. And I don't know why they say frequency Hertz response down to 30 Hertz, because the FS is only, I think, 40. So let's see, where is it at? Yeah, resonant frequency is 40 Hertz. So I don't know how they're getting this 30 Hertz, because that's bullshit. But it does roll off at 4K, which is good. And typically in an MTM design, which is Joseph Doppolito's Discovery design, whatever you want to call it, typically the crossover point is about 1.8, 1.5 kilohertz. And that's to create certain lobing characteristics, which is a very wide dispersion and a narrow vertical dispersion. So you want wide, and which is really good because I don't want to get into some other stuff. I got to stay focused. Sorry. So maximum linear excursion is 14 millimeters. Yeah, that is actually one way. So which is great. But and then Dayton put all the bells and whistles in this thing, which was the carbon fiber cone, which is probably not carbon fiber. It's probably glass fiber, but it looks like carbon fiber. The reason why I say that is because there's trouble going through the cone. Oh, it looks like they have a stitched cone or a stitched leads. So again, you don't want to run the risk of leads touching the cones, but whatever. It looks good. Santoprene, of course, is a trademark. That's why there's a little R. Trademark product of Monsanto. Monsanto created Santoprene. But not that it's anything special now. I'm sure the patent has gone away, but Santoprene is a name brand. But voice coil former, magnet material, ferrite. Some of the other things they talk about having the secondary magnet array to boost, that may not be true. I think this was actually chosen for cost reasons. Again, the cost on this driver would probably be about $20 to $25 from China, and that's a minimum order quantity of 1,000 pieces. And of course, you get a better price break at 10,000 pieces, but I think they want to see what these pull in for what they are. Now, at a $20 cost, and then $100 shipped, so they're making a pretty good margin. So, and this thing costs nothing to ship because it's very, very small. You got to remember, it's like about the size of a large hamburger. It looks great on the screen, but again, when you get it, you're like, oh, this is tiny. So, but I just wanted to make this quick video about this. I don't like it. I think there are other drivers out there that are better for this application. Again, this is really a mid bass. It's not a woofer. Again, it only plays down to 40 Hertz. So, and as most of you talk about, there's plenty of bass, unless you're from Kicker, there's plenty of bass below 40 Hertz. So I love you guys. Stay educated. I love you. Talk to you later.